What a saga this nightmare build has been. I know that they did not name this the nightmare because it's a nightmare to build, but at this point, that's how it's been for me. I've tried to build this thing now 2 full times, and have not had the best opportunity to get it completely done. The first time I did it, I put a Pro Micro in it, and it did not work. The Pro Micro worked, and then as soon as I soldered it to the board, to the header pins, it just stopped working. Yes, Keyhive finish hype, it's gonna happen. Then a couple days ago, I decided, yes, Regilicious, it's going to happen. I'm going to finish it. I figured out what was wrong. Well, I didn't figure out personally, but I was given the information by the guys at Keyhive. So I am going to switch things around a little bit. So the first time, the Pro Micro just for some reason didn't work on the PCB. Yes, I can do that. So yeah, the first time that I tried to do this, the Pro Micro didn't work whenever I put it to the board. Had no clue. Assumed that it was a PCB error. I got a replacement PCB in with a different Pro Micro, but decided to put an Elite C on it, so I didn't have to worry about the port falling off. Everything worked. Oh my goodness. You're killing me. Right there. How's that? Is that the best? Is that the best ratio of voice to music? Okay. So then the replacement PCB with the Elite C completely worked and flashed, but then it wouldn't work again on the PCB. I talked to Regilicious multiple times trying to figure out what was going wrong. Me and him had no clue what was going on with it. So on a last-ditch effort, I decided I was just going to email the guys at Keyhive, and Cody, who's probably a better Cody than me, got back to me fairly quickly saying that it looks like on the latest batch of Nightmare PCBs, no, not completely useless, it's not true. On the latest batch of these PCBs, there's something going on with the reset pin. Whatever that is, I don't know. He recommended that I completely pull that pin out if I can. So I tested it on the original PCB that still has a Pro Micro in it, but like an idiot, I did not put a switch where they're supposed to be, so I'm going to have to fix this one. But I did remove the reset pin, which is the third one down from the left if you're looking at it from this side, and lo and behold, it works. It's registered as a keyboard. I tested all of the switches and or all of the pads, and everything worked. So I am going to make a wild assumption that when I do it to this one, that it'll work as well. Except this time, I'm gonna put an Elite C on it because I want the USB-C, but I'm also gonna socket it because I really, really, really am tired of removing microcontrollers from PCBs, and I don't ever want to have to do it again. So socketing makes more sense. Just in the off chance that this does not work, socketing it will make it a hell of a lot easier to move on with my life after the fact. For those that don't know what socketing is, you use one of these 24 pin, I think they're just like dip pin little like headers. They have a normal, the normal pins that are going to the PCB, but then they have little sockets that you actually solder the your microcontroller to with some diode legs. And that's a little fun way to make it to where you can just pull it off. You don't have to desolder it. I think so. Like the clearance itself should be fine. I mean, admittedly, I haven't checked, but after just looking and seeing where it is, I think it's okay. I mean, I'll check real fast just to be sure. I feel like there's more than enough room, but now, you say that, and it's probably not gonna, it probably won't work, and then I'll be sad. Oh, we'll see how it looks with just this on it. Ooh. Yeah, I think that's gonna work. I might have to... I don't know, the more I look at this now, I might have to potentially like carve out a tiny little bit of the bottom here just to get it to work. But I think at this point I'm willing to take a scalpel to this to see if I can make it work. At least worst case scenario, if it doesn't work, desoldering this will be way easier than it will be to pull off the entire microcontroller. So I'm just gonna go for it. Really, at this point, I've lost pretty much nothing except for my time trying to do this. So I'm not too worried about it. We'll see what happens. So all the diodes are all still in. I'm going to solder this. I wonder if these can go down anymore, or if that's like, oh no, that's it. Okay, I'm going for it. Yeah, you know what, to be honest, I have a very limited knowledge. I mean, I have a 3D printer, but I have a very limited knowledge. Do you know the process of this? Like, do they shove it in there as it's being like printed? I don't even know. Well, look at that light that just came on. I don't know how or do they just shove it in there after it's done being printed? Interesting. I don't know. I don't know if you know. Probably do. Alright, I'm just going to solder all of these very quickly. I'm going to do the two corners eventually. Okay. You print the full case and use your soldering iron? Oh, okay. Oh, okay, yeah. That makes sense. I feel like that is probably the best way to do it. I can imagine that it's probably a little... I don't know, I feel like it's... I mean, anything extra you do is going to be time-consuming anyways, but I can imagine that that's a little bit more time-consuming than just like printing the 3D printed threads already in there, or shoving a screw down in there to get the threads. Can't be too bad, though. But yeah, that makes sense. Take too much longer. Use some canned air. Ah, okay, so you're spraying out the, what do they put in that? Carbon dioxide? Nitrogen? Not nitrogen. It's probably something I should know. Okay. This is in. Let me just make sure nothing's bridging, just in case. Okay. Okay, so the important thing here is that when I do this, I am not going to solder a pin where the reset is going to be, which is the third one down from the left, since that is, whatever the reason is, that's the problem that this specific PCB version has right now. So I would say if anybody has one like that, it's probably going to be really hard. Yeah, so Cody told me that it's not even needed, but he's not sure why this batch of PCBs is doing it. So you know, it's good to know. And it's also good to know that it's not really needed either. So, you know, I would say if you're building a nightmare and you're worried about it, just don't put a pin in there. I mean, I can't. Yeah, that's fine. We can call him Cody Prime, and I can be Cody 2. I mean, I feel like Cody Prime is a pretty cool name. Like, if I'm gonna be not a normal Cody, can I be something better than Cody 2? I feel like there's got to be something better. Maybe, I don't know. Oh, so, you can put the Pro. Okay. Yeah, he said it was not needed. Cody Esquire. I'm okay with that. So I'm gonna stick these diode legs in all of them except for that pin, or that specific socket, which is this one that I'm about to skip right now. And all these are just diode legs. When I kept all the diode legs from when I cut them from this specific one, and that's all these are. So you put the tape down on top of this socket so that when you solder, because I will, once I get the pins all put in here, and I'll push them down with some pliers, or actually some channel locks, because I don't know what happened to my pliers. When you solder the microcontroller or whatever to it, that way the tape saves it from flowing into the sockets, so that you can actually remove it later on. I didn't even know this was an option until I built the Gherkin, which already had the Pro Micro socketed, and I was very confused about it, and looked it up, and was able to find it. This is why you're probably supposed to use something right now. This is also the problem with not having needle nose pliers and only having channel locks. Eventually this will go in, or it'll bend. Wow, it really doesn't want to go in there, does it? And there it goes. Okay, it's alright. It's fine. These things are... I have like 100 of these. What's the worst thing that's going to happen? Someone will say I'll mess it up. Maybe I'm not putting it in the right spot. I'm looking at this like hole that I'm trying to put in, and I might not be putting... Yeah, see, I wasn't putting it in the right spot. Yikes. The holes that these socket into are actually fairly small, but they're literally right in the middle. But yeah, I didn't even know that socketing this was an option or even a thing until I did that Gherkin build, and the PCB and the Pro Micro already had that in there. So this is supposed to make it a little bit easier, or if you have to remove it for some reason. I know a lot of people socket the Pro Micros because the oh, you son of a bitch. Buy some Captain. What's wrong with you, Regilicious? Thank you so much. When you say Captain, you mean exactly what? I feel like you're gonna have a good... Jeez. Let me see. Actually, I'm just gonna open it up here. Every time it checks for updates, it logs me out. Oh, I just bent that as it came out. Let me see this. Oh, heat resistant. Okay. So would I use this for what I'm doing now? Like instead of using masking tape? Is that what you're thinking? don't want to know why none of my overlays are showing up either. Oh, okay. Oh, look, now they're all showing up. Okay, that's good to know. Thank you, man. I will. I mean, I don't think this tape's gonna stick around, but if you told me that this was gonna be the hardest part about this build tonight was putting in diode legs instead of these sockets, I would have called you crazy. I'm just fully committed to getting this done. Oh, I see. So, yeah, so I guess I am hoping that that's the case whenever I actually do this here in a second, that that it doesn't melt from the heat. The pictures I saw actually was on 40% Club, and they were using just painter's tape, so I figured masking tape would be okay. Hopefully. Guess we'll find out. We're gonna learn together. I feel like I actually did not need these. Captain's awesome. Oh. Do the DZ60s actually have that problem? Where if you use screw-in stabilizers, even like the washers that come with those or something still might short it out? Have a few more of these left, but it's starting to get a little hard to get my fingers in there. That's probably why you're supposed to use... Actually, it doesn't take that much to get them in there. Once you break through the tape, they actually sit into the socket pretty easy. Oh, I did not grab enough. That's all right. Wait, yes I did. I grabbed more than enough. Right on. No, I will absolutely get some of that. I appreciate it. You don't even know me and you support me so much, Regilicious. I do appreciate it. You've taught me so much in the short amount of time, too. I feel like I learn something new every single time you come into one of these streams and watch me fumble through whatever you would call this keyboard build. Okay. Looks like everything is in there. I'm a little bit... Actually, that one doesn't seem like it's in there. Now it is. Okay. Now what I need to do is I need to get this Elite C on these pins. And it's probably going to be... Actually, that third... This one does not look like it's in either. Maybe it is. I feel like it's got to be. Right on, man. I will. Thank you so much for dropping by. I really appreciate it. Get some... Hey, you have to tell me what kind of games you play. Maybe we should play some sometime. If we're into the same games, that is. But have fun. Thanks. I will send it. You will see it finished tonight. I'm committed. Alright, so this is a little funky because you've just got these little pins, and you kind of have to line them up here. And you kind of have to line them up on both sides as you go down, just so you make sure you're not missing anything. So I could see this being one of those things where it's like a lot of trial and error until you finally get it. I feel like if you get a couple of them in, it should be fine. Yeah, right on, man. I look forward to it. See, and the other problem is that some of these are taller than the others, and I think what would help is if I trimmed them down so that they were all the same size. But then I don't want to trim too much. I think I'm just going to try and work it in there as much as I can. It's just a little... Okay, so I have a couple on this side in, but see, yeah, I'm going to have to trim it. I trimmed that one down. I think I'm going to trim it down to the smallest one on each side. You're going to end up trimming these anyways once you solder the microcontroller, the Pro Micro, whatever you've got, onto these legs. So, and the diode legs as is are already too long. Like, there's no way you don't trim these and clip them. So I don't know if this is going to make it easier. In my mind, it makes sense if they're all roughly the same height. Oops, that one does not feel in. Maybe it's just really long. Okay, so those are all roughly the same. I got little bits of diode legs all over, and it really doesn't matter where these are, I guess. Like, these don't necessarily have to be the exact same height as... I'm going to be finding these diode leg pieces around this office for a long time. Okay, so I've got two little ones that are crossed over here. Okay. I'm hoping that that makes it easier. Now that they're roughly the same size. I cut some of them a little shorter, but the main thing is that we get this puppy in. Man, I really didn't think that it was going to be this rough to get these pieces in here. Like, and the diode legs are actually, I mean, they're significantly smaller than the holes on the Elite C too. So it's not even like it's just tough to get them in. It's just there's so many tiny little. I think what I should do is put all of the ones on one side in first, and then bend it over to get to the other side. Ugh. This is where it doesn't pay to have terrible eyesight. If I could just get one side in. Oh, there we go. There we go. Okay, is that one side? Oh, I missed one. It's okay. It's actually smaller than the rest. Okay, so there's one side in. I think the best thing to do here is just, now that I have one side of this in, is just to kind of pry the rest of these with like tweezers or something. So that's what I'm gonna do. Kind of pry them over into the holes. And remember, we are not putting one of these holes on the third from the left, because that is where the reset pin is located, and there is some weird fault going on with that specific pin on this batch of PCBs. Oh no, does this, oh no, that's good, that's good. My head's in the way, I know. Okay. That's a little finicky, but it's good. Okay, so we want this down as close to this as possible. So you put the tape down, you make sure all of the diode legs are into the sockets, which they are. You put the, whatever you've got, a Pro Micro or Elite C on top of it, and then it's just about soldering those actual pins to the Pro Micro. You can trim them all off, which we'll do, and then you can actually pull it up. So let's try it. The one thing I will say is that it is kind of sticking up a little bit. I'll probably do like one corner like normal, and then do the opposite corner as it's sticking up, because you've got the port on that one side, and so, all right, here's what we're gonna do. Okay, so I'm gonna do the top two. You might have to use a little bit more solder here because the holes for the microcontroller are larger than the diode legs. Okay. So the one thing we want to make sure of here is that when we solder this part, it's going to probably be kind of angled, and it is. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to reheat that one corner and hold it up a little bit so that it's nice and straight and flush. And that looks pretty good. Okay. So now I'm gonna do this final fourth corner here, and I'm gonna do the rest of them. Stand by. Watch what happens. I'm gonna finally get this worked out. PCB is functional, and then this won't fit because the case can't accommodate it, and I'll have to scrape out. It'll fit. I believe it'll fit in the actual case itself. It's just going to be whether or not the port lines up. Absolute worst case scenario is I have to desolder the socket and actually just put this thing straight in, which does suck, but at the same time, at least we know the PCB will work. And socketing I don't think many people socket Elite Cs because they don't have I think the Pro Micros, based on what everybody online and what Regilicious says too, is that the Pro Micros are really, really notorious for their port coming out. And so you have that soldered into your board, and then you have an issue with it like that, like the micro USB port comes out, and then you have to desolder it, which is not fun. I just want to emphasize that it is not fun. It has been my least favorite thing about keyboards so far, about building them, has been desoldering Pro Micros and Elite Cs and any of these microcontrollers. So socketing these is very important and probably worthwhile. It's not that much harder. You just have to buy, an extra part, which is the actual 24-pin socket. But once you do that, you should be good. And I do want to point out this is my first time socketing a microcontroller, so I'm learning along with you. I am just removing now the diode legs. I have little pieces everywhere. I want to find them before I lose them here. So once these diode legs are off, now that they're going to be trimmed here in a minute, I should be able to pry this up from the socket, and it will easily go back in. Okay. Let's see if that works. I would say moment of truth, but this really isn't the moment of truth. The moment of truth is going to be whether or not it fits into the case and I can still see. Oh man, I have little diode legs everywhere. I'm going to get them out of the way very quickly. Alright, I'm going to grab this because it's like a little plastic sponger tool. I'm going to get up underneath the USB. Aha, there you go. I kind of bent some pins, but that's okay. So that's what it looks like. You'll see the little diode legs. They are fairly pliable. Probably a better way to handle pulling it out of there. But they are going to have to go back in, so you're going to want to make sure they're at least somewhat straight before you attempt to put them back. Okay, there you go. That's a socketed Elite C. I'm gonna pull the tape off. And then that's what it'll look like. It'll look like you just did it. Not too bad. The only thing about this specific PCB that you're going to have, it's not going to be slightly trouble, but because a switch has to go here, you do have to access that bottom side. There is enough clearance to put your soldering iron a little bit in the side, and we're going to see how that works here in a minute. I don't anticipate having a problem with that, though. But we'll see. I really didn't think I was going to have a problem with this build at all, and now this is the third time that I built it, so yeah, man, easy peasy. Nobody has to know that it's taken me like months to finally do this. Don't tell anybody, don't tell your friends. Okay, so this switch goes here. I think I'm going to put some in the corners just to align it a little bit better here. It should make it somewhat easier to align this. This is actually a little loose, but that's okay. As soon as it's soldered in, it won't be a problem. Okay, so that's fairly aligned. Pins are sticking through. All right, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna set this down. You put me on the secondary monitor, Marlon? Don't put me back to the tertiary monitor. Put me back, man. Come on. How you gonna give it and then take it away? What's wrong with you? All right, so this is the clearance in here is kind of rough, but it's doable. I think I'm gonna have to move it this side now. Make sure I know what I'm looking at before I do this. This one's really hard, I think. All right. Let me make sure those look good. That's in there. All right. Now that these are done, I'm going to put all the switches into this plate. Actually, I want to get this as flush as I can. I feel like I should solder all of these corners real fast. So I'm going to do that. Soldering iron is one of the things I need to check after I solder these is making sure that the stabilizers still have clearance. All right. Wait, did I miss one? I did. I didn't do one of the corners. Tiny bit more on this one real quickly. All right. Stabilizers look like they still have clearance, so that's good. All right, so that's all the corners put in. So now it's just a matter of sticking the rest of these puppies in, making sure that they actually go in. Can't believe you took me off of your secondary monitor. You put me on there and then wave it in front of my face. Oh, guess where you used to be. I have desoldered these Kale Pro Purples twice now. Actually, that's not true. I've only desoldered them once, but I did put all of them into the last time I tried to build this. I got it, Kels. Well, I don't know that. I don't know yet. I'm not gonna say yes. What I do have is, check my Snapchat. Oh no. Alright, let me look at the Snapchat that you sent me, so I can see how you move. I already know what's gonna happen. Why am I so small? Why am I so small, man? I thought you said I'm a pretty face. Why wouldn't you want to look at me more? It's so small. It's so sad. That's pretty funny, though. Teeniest portion of your screen. It's sad. Makes me sad. But at least you're watching. But yeah, Kels, I think I have it. I hope I have it, because I really want to be done with this keyboard. I want to move on to something else. But I've just been so determined to figure this one out that it's been consuming my thoughts. Man, those don't really feel like they go in, but they are all the way in there. It's probably because I pushed that down as I soldered that. They go into the top portion. Aw, look at Marlon saying hi to Kelsey. The real reason that Marlon comes to the screen, or to the stream. Y'all have been hearing fireworks? We've heard them actually all week so far. Not like a bunch, but we've heard, you know, some here and there. Are there a lot going off on your side of the little highway there? I don't think there's been too much. So yeah, that's one thing about Americans. You can give them, make them stay in their homes and get locked down with quarantine with the global pandemic, but God, we're still gonna do our fireworks. And especially in Texas. I'm glad that your entire point is just to troll me. I do appreciate that. Because I know that means you really care about me. As much as you want to act like you don't, Marlon. I know how it is. That makes sense that fireworks sales are up because there's no shows. I would also say that the fireworks sales are up because people are bored as hell. And blowing something up right now probably seems really like cathartic and nice to do. Alright. And this is kind of sexy music, isn't it? Space bars don't want to go in. Space bar switches. Don't lie. You know it's you over there. Popping off fireworks, acting like it's not you. Okay. This one didn't want to go in for some reason. Oh no, there it goes. Oh. Yep. The only thing is this one's very weird. Okay, that's straight-ish. Okay. I don't believe that is straight, though. That is off. Okay, that's straight. You are bored as hell. You're bored. You can't say you're not bored. You're totally bored. It's just a different kind of bored. Grabbing random target items. Oh yeah, that's her. We've probably saved a lot of money because of quarantine, because she's not just buying stuff at Target. But she finds other places to buy it, probably. Alright, all the switches are in. I'm going to start soldering the switches. But you need it. Do you need it? Is it an actual need? Breaking dreams. What? You can't be on her side. You work with me. You have to be on my side. Right? Isn't that how it works? Ooh, that's true. Harper does normally say that she's on my team. So, you know? You should be, if you want to be on someone who's on Kelsey's side, you should be on Bennett's team. Because he is all team mommy all the time. Well, depending on what the deal is. If he hasn't seen me all day, he's team dad. Yeah, Bennett's team mom most of the time. Still, if he hasn't seen me though, if he hasn't seen me for a lot during the day, like when I'm working, he will jump so fast out of Kelsey's arms to get to me. You have a slight favorite for secondborns? I mean, he's pretty great. He's a lot easier attitude-wise to deal with right now than Harper is. That girl's got an attitude, which she did not get from me, so I'll let you decide where you think she maybe got that from. I bet if you started sending saxophone snaps again and Harper saw it, she'd totally remember. She was into that. I also saw the Snapchat. I was just, with me and Harper sometimes we'll look at old Snapchat videos that I saved. And we watched the one the other day where she sang Twinkle Twinkle, I think it was. Where right after you, oh yeah. You'll love the videos of him singing. But I remember that time you sent that one to us with the saxophone, and at the end you did the little, like, fingered salute thing, and Harper, like, she was all about that. I saw that the other day where she's like, I want to do it, and I was like, well, go ahead and do it, and then she did it. That was pretty cute. thought I was going to run out of solder for these switches. And I'm not convinced yet if I am. I don't think I'm going to. I think it's going to be right down to the end. You have a secret instrument you're trying to learn, but you're not going to tell us. You're just going to tease us with the idea that it's this great instrument, and it's probably like a glockenspiel or something. Like, it's not even anything cool. You're gonna snap me the instrument? Oh, is it really close? Wait, harmonica? Wait, oh, you're gonna snap Kelsey, not me. You don't think Kelsey will tell me? What's the point of marriage? She has to tell me everything, right? Harmonica's close. What is it, like a accordion? Sounds slightly similar, maybe? Give her ammo. You can lord it over. Everything I handle and everything that I do right now is at her mercy. I don't think that's fair. Why don't I get anything? I had to get permission to come over here and build this keyboard. I was like, please, honey, can I please finish this keyboard that I've been trying to work on for the last month? I guess. Permission. I mean, that's the nice way of saying it. I had to promise I'd do her laundry and the dishes for like a month just to let me do this. I did say I was gonna do the dishes though. Not for this, but actually I'm gonna run out of solder before I finish these switches. Let's see. Maybe I can get the last bit of solder and use this here. I didn't do the dishes, but I will. As soon as I get this done, I'll go do the dishes. Because I don't think this is... Once these switches are done and I put that socket, or that thing back in, it should be close. I think the only thing left I'll have to do is potentially have to carve out a piece on the case. Look how much solder. I'm done. I'm out of solder. This is not enough to finish the switches. I'll do it. Wait, I told you I was going to do the keyboard? No, I said, please let me do the keyboard. I'll do your laundry for a year. Like that time Dwight had to do it for Michael Scott. Actually, I'm thinking I might actually have enough to finish this. I will. I'll have enough. Laundry for a year. Yeah, man. And those are not in there that well. Look at that. I even have a little solder left over. Maybe. No, I will. I will use this remaining solder to make sure that I have solder enough everywhere else. If there's any thin spots, like right here. That was like the first one of the first ones I did. Pretty good. All right. I have a tiny bit of solder left for whatever I want. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put this puppy back in the socket, and then I'm going to try and see if I can get it to work. Make sure everything's lined up before I shove it down in there. Which this one's not. I don't think so. Oh, maybe it is. Alright. Just kinda... I don't know how much pressure I really need to put it in there. Oh. Okay, I just saw something here. I think it's important to push them all down at the same time. Yeah, it is. Because that's what happens. It's okay. Like I said, these legs are very pliable. They're all the same size. Okay, let's try this again. Main thing is making sure they're where they're supposed to be. Like this one is slightly... Yeah, I would say this is probably the most hard part about socketing is like making sure that everything is straight, making sure that it's where it's supposed to be. Especially when you go to put it back into the socket. Like it's just so easy to bend these diode legs. But it makes your life, allegedly, so much easier if you ever have to change it. Which is really what I'm about right now, because I do not want to have to desolder another one of these. I'm going to try and get one end in, and then kind of shoehorn the other end in here. I think that worked. I just need to make sure that this top one here is actually going into the hole. There we go. All right, that's in. That's a socket. All right, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna test it. Use. Talking about the instrument. All right, here's the moment of truth. This is what everyone's been waiting for. What happens when I plug this in? Do we hear the noise? Hey! It's the noise! Alright, so now what we need to do is we need to open up VIA and make sure all the switches are working. All right, do I have that? I do. Where is that going to show up? Boom, right there. Okay. All right, going down the line here. That's the escape. QWERTY UIOP brackets. Uh-oh, that one doesn't want to work. Neither does that one. Weird. There's like a couple on this side. It's always something. Alright, let's just try and see which ones don't work. Really? Oh, wait. Yeah. A. Okay. Oh my gosh. Oh, that worked. So Z is not working? How about these? Okay, those all work. Spacebar works. Windows works. Okay, so the only problem we're having right now is our A, Z caps lock. Oh no, wait, my caps lock actually is fine. Those all work. Okay, it's A and Z, and then enter, which I believe is supposed to be enter. That's supposed to be the backspace. No, it's, yeah. So the right bracket, backspace, enter. I think that's supposed to be right shift. Whatever this is supposed to be. So the question is what do the diodes look like on all of these? I mean, they look fine. God, it's always something, isn't it? Most everything works. But for some reason, A and Z don't want to work. Let's see if this is starting to become the... Oh, God. Knockout. No, I really want this to work. I can't knock out A and Z. Let's reset this and see if A and Z work for some reason. No, they don't. Okay, so I need to figure out why A and Z aren't working for sure. If I can figure out why these aren't working... Let's see, those are these ones right here. Oh, okay. I know why this one's not working. There's not enough solder on this diode. That could be why none of them are working. Okay. Let's just make sure. Ah, see? There's not, I don't think there's enough solder on this diode either. Maybe, but for the sake of just making sure, we'll add a little bit extra. That's what I need to check real fast. Because those are probably connected. Like, I don't know, maybe we'll see. Let me just quickly go over this and look and make sure that all of the diodes have enough solder. And that they are all connected. I will say these diodes are not super pretty. Okay, that one needs more too. Even though that one works, it's possible that it's messing something up. So we're gonna just make sure that we have enough there. probably has enough, but I'll add some more. That one probably has enough, but needs some more. All right, there's a couple that I'm just gonna add a little bit more to just in case. And that's this one. And this one. Okay. Let's hope that's what is what needed to happen. So let's plug it back in. We're gonna reset, and the first thing we're gonna do is check A and Z. A and Z now work. Backspace still doesn't work. Enter still doesn't work. Whatever this is doesn't work. Whatever this is doesn't work either. Okay, so it's got to be something going on with these specific ones over here. A and Z works, which is good. But now I got to figure out what exactly is going on. So this is actually 13. So where's 12? So it looks like 12 is good. Where's 14? 14 is over here, and that looks good. Interesting. $27 is whatever. Oh, that's that other bracket that doesn't work. Where's 26? So 26 looks fine. Huh. Interesting. That doesn't explain why 41 is not working, which is the enter. Diodes are the right way. I wonder if the switches are just bad. Well, what I can do is I can desolder that and just test it real fast and see if it's something going on with the switch or something going on with the diode. I had a little bit of solder left in there. All right, let's check this out. Man, that is giving me some trouble getting that solder out of there. Might have to add some more solder to that. We'll see. Oh, that came out. Alright, let's plug it back in. And we'll test it with some tweezers just to see. Yeah, that doesn't work at all. Anything work? Yeah, okay. But that's not working. So it's not just the switch. Should be easy, right? But it never is. And I'm not seeing like any gouges on the traces or anything, so I don't know. Maybe a bad diode? I don't know. So this one is off. This one doesn't work. It's so weird. 12 to 27. 26 looks fine though. I don't know. I guess I can try and adjust the solder on some of these. I don't know that I need to, but I just don't know why a couple of these keys aren't working. Huh. So weird. You can see most of them work actually, which is good. All the main stuff works. But what I don't know is, why is my enter key not working? Oh, that works now. Did that work before? I don't remember that working before. That should be the question mark. No, that's the question mark. But these don't work now? Oh no, that's a... Okay, I know what that is. So yeah, I'm just having a problem with the right shift, the enter, and this bracket. So it's on this side. So it's got to be something going on with the diode or something on this side. I don't know enough about diodes to know when they're not good. $41, where's 40? 40 is right there. That looks fine. 48 also doesn't work. Where's 47? Right there. Interesting. Well, we're close. I think I'm gonna do really quickly is just make sure that this is gonna fit. So it's one less thing I have to troubleshoot after the fact. It's probably gonna be a little, oof. It's like slightly, I mean the port is where it's supposed to be, but it does not want to go down. But I'm sure that I can just screw that down. A little bit at least. Yeah. The port's where it needs to be. But that is just, that socket is so high, it adds so much vertical space that, yeah. Well, that can be drilled down a little bit. In fact, if I really wanted to, nah, that's fine. Right now, I gotta focus on getting this working. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use a different cable. Shouldn't make a difference, but I'm going to just in case. A different cable and a different port. Just to see. But everything's gonna be shaken until I can find a port. Can't get it in the hole. Whoop, everybody's shaking. Alright, I'm standing up. In fact, I'm gonna unplug this one because I don't need it right now. use a different cable, different port. Probably not going to make a difference, but it's worth it just to check for a second. Yeah, no difference. So something's going on with that side of the PCB, and I don't know what the answer is. So we're going to have to troubleshoot this a little bit. Why did I think this was going to be easy? Okay. So we know it's not the actual pads themselves. Let me look at 12 again. Looks okay. I mean, it looks a little ugly, but it shouldn't make a difference. And it's also not just 12. It's 27, 13, 41, 48. It's these 5 switches. I don't know. Is there enough solder on this one? Probably. I think as long as it's making contact, it's okay. Let's plug it in again. I wonder if I'm ever going to be able to finish this keyboard. I've gotten the closest that I've ever gotten right now, though. Meaning, it's close. It's just not there yet. Okay, so I just did this one. It didn't make a difference. It's definitely not the switches. Yeah, I'm pretty stumped. Yeah, it's progress for sure. It is a little annoying that I thought I was there already and I'm now hit a roadblock where some of these don't work. I'm gonna solder this switch back on because I know it's not the switches. It's gotta be something going on with the diodes. I just wish I knew what it was. Maybe, I don't know, maybe it's not working in this. Maybe I should try typing it in a notepad. Probably won't make a difference, but anything to test it, right? It's not working. All this works, but this does not work. Unless it's supposed to be like something else. I have to look at my key map again, but I'm pretty certain that my key map was not Alright, let's see. What was all that typing for no reason? definitely going to take me a few seconds. I don't remember what my key map was, so I'm gonna have to look at my key map. Or at least what I thought I made. I didn't change too much on it. I did change it to work a little bit for my purposes, but yeah, it's definitely supposed to be backspace is not working. That's weird. What did I make that? I don't know what I made that. But I want to say that I made, like, this should be like numbers, right? Oh no, that's F1. Okay. These should be numbers. Yeah, these are numbers. I know that works. That doesn't work. Okay, so it's definitely just these keys. It's got to be something going on with the diodes or something. The problem is this board has now been soldered with all of the switches. So now having to change diodes is going to require me to desolder all the switches again, if that's the problem. It's definitely something going on over here, and I just don't know what. I mean, the good news is that it's working, right? For the most part. The bad news is that it doesn't really want to work. So I had somewhat of the same problem on the Romeo when I built it, where there was a few keys in one area that didn't work. And it was because I had somehow damaged something, and so I'm thinking because there's 5 keys over here that don't work, whatever it goes to is obviously damaged. I just don't know what is it that is damaged. And I'm sure I will have to figure that out to get those specific keys to work. But I don't know for the life of me why, like, what is damaged. And it would have to be shown on the front side of the board, I guess. Well, this is going to require probably a little bit more headcack. Yeah, headcack. Headcack. Yes. I don't know what you're talking about. Problem exists between chair. Okay, well, that's yeah, that's probably something. You probably have a point. Yeah, you're not wrong. But last time I had this problem where keys weren't working, I had to add a jumper cable between, I want to say it was, you know, the one that didn't work. I don't know how I figured that out. I think I just tried it, so. And I know you only have to do it with the square. Well, you know what we can do? I can go grab a little jumper cable and just hold it on 12 to 13 and see if that makes a difference. Let me grab one. think I have one in this. Yeah, look at all these. These aren't, these are okay. All right, let's just see. Plug it in. Let's make sure we're on via. All right, so I need to hold 12 and 13 together, and then somehow find a way to touch 13. The key, which is backspace. Probably a little bit easier said than done. I don't think that's what this is, but it could be. So I'm just sticking a little jumper cable between them. Wait a second, what? Okay, so putting those on that. Alright, so that's interesting. So putting 12 and 13 together basically is flashing like I'm using the left bracket when I want to be using not that bracket. Now, the same thing should happen. Oh, we'll see. Let's see. I'm going to put it on what should be... I don't know what key this is supposed to be, I'll be honest. So that doesn't flash as anything. If I did this to this one, none of them work. If I do it to this one, oh wait. Right shift works when I do that. Okay, so there's one thing. So right shift works. I think that's what right shift is supposed to be. I don't actually know. Let me check that again. I don't know what I just did it to. So this one, okay, I gotta figure out backspace. I want backspace to work first. So there's something going on with the diode tracers here. Okay, so nothing's working when I do that. I need that other cable because it's longer. This one's pretty, but it's a hassle when I'm trying to do this. There might be a lot of jumper cables on the back of this board just to get it to work. Okay, so right shift is supposed to be this one, I believe. So when I complete 40, 48, eventually, doesn't work. Okay. If I do 40 and 39, what happens? Because this should be right shift, right? Yes. No, wait, it just changed. What? Okay, so it's doing them both. Which is not what I want. Why is 40? Let's do 40 and 41. Interesting. Wait, now that doesn't want to work? Interesting. Why does that not want to work now? Okay, so that kind of flashes through. Man. It's just these few keys on the side. You know what I'm going to do real fast? Is I'm going to look up and see if I can find the... I believe there are open source-ish PCB files for this. On GitHub, maybe? So what I want to see is if it's okay, they don't even have anything. Ay, ay, ay. I'm curious if they have a link to them. Okay, here's the GitHub link. So let's see here. Okay, here's PCB. Oh God. I was hoping I could just like find a picture of it, but I don't know how to open any of these files because I don't know anything about PCBs. All right, time to Google. Let's go with .pro. Okay, didn't actually help me. Okay, that doesn't help me even a little bit. How about SCH? I just want to know something free that I can open this up in. So Autodesk Eagle opens it up. Is that free? Probably not, because it's Autodesk. I just don't even know what I'm looking for here. I don't know what the best thing to open up is. Adobe Proto design file. So that doesn't help me, I don't think. KiCad. All right, let's try KiCad _PCB. Nothing. Huh. I have a feeling I'm going to have to send a email again asking what's going on. I mean, I could probably mess with this more. I was able to get... What was I able... I was able to get right shift to flash. What I want is backspace. So I know what I'm looking at here. See, when I do that, here's the question. What if I do this? That does that. What? That's bizarre. This is supposed to be the left bracket. This is supposed to be the right bracket. And if I connect both of those, I get that. I Obviously, that's because it goes from 12 to 13. So what about 26 to 27? What does that give me when I do that? I get that again. I don't think that's what it's supposed to be, though. Maybe I should reflash the firmware to the default. Alright. This is what we're going to do. I'm actually going to reflash the firmware to the most default. I know I'm so close. I'm just trying to figure out. So my Nightmare is connected. I'm going to kill Via for a second. QMK is not on here. KMK is only on here, I feel like, when I do this. And then even then it doesn't like to show up. So, alright. I'm going to put it into auto flash, and I'm going to load the default Nightmare. Oh, I think I already have it, but I'll do it anyways, just in case. I'm gonna load that. Okay, it's loaded. I'm in auto flash. And then I'm just going to short these, because you should be able to. Oh, actually, you know what? I have a... There's a reset pin. Oh no, can I even get to that reset button? There's a reset button on the bottom of this Elite C. That didn't work. Okay. It is reflashing it right now. Alright, it is connected. Let's just test it one more time inside of Via. Let's see what happens. So those all work. And we have the same issue. Okay, so there is something going on. What? That spacebar doesn't work. Why not? Oh, I know why. There it is. Everything else pretty much works. It's just those one specific keys. So I need to figure out. It's just the backspace. That's enter. And there's right shift, which I was able to, I can't remember how I was able to get right shift to work. Too much face. How dare you, sir? This is right shift. That is, I believe, 40. So let's just put 39 and 40 together and see what happens. And we'll check right shift. Nope, 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 nothing. Oh, nope. Okay, that's right. This is the one that it is. It's doing both. Wait a second. Okay, so here's something interesting. When I have the jumper pin just on... Okay, let me add a little bit more solder to that and see what happens. Probably shouldn't be soldering with it on there, but let's find out. Okay, so right shift works now. It seemed like the diode wasn't making full contact. So I wonder... I mean, I don't think the rest of these are having that issue, to be honest. But if I add... Just put a little jumper pin on, like, the backspace... Maybe we can see if there's something going on with it. Like, maybe the diode's dead. I don't know. It's not even... That is 13. And where's 12? I think I've already tried this, but I'll try it again. So that flashes when I do that as that. Same way if I do that, it flashes as that for some reason. And have I tried... Oh no. So if I want to try 14 to 13... What if I just try the one down? Or rather, what if I try... Now that I know right shift is completely working, I need enter to work. So why not connect 41 and 40 and see what happens whenever I do that? Okay, so it does right shift. Sort of. Okay. You know, I could just connect it to literally anyone that it'll reach to. That's not supposed to be right shift. That's supposed to be enter. That's 41. I already did 40. So where's 42? These are all over the place. They're on the other side of the board. I think the main thing here is grabbing this and trying to see what will work. So that flashes as that. It's so weird. Right shift, nothing, because that one doesn't work. So 27, have I tried 27 to 26 to try and get this one to work? This should be the brackets. It's not. Okay. I just have to figure this one out. So 26 is not it, but where's 28? Probably on the other side of the board. Yep. So that's the only problem, is some of these things are so far away from each other that you can't like actually get a good test out of it. I'm gonna see if I can make an extended jumper cable here. Probably should open this up a little bit. I just want to get one out and see if maybe that'll make a difference. Okay, what I'm gonna use is a little bit of tape to hold these things down. So I will hold down, what am I checking, 27? So let's try here on 28. Should be touching, yep. I'm gonna put a little bit of tape on what we should be running here. Whoa. Thanks, Microsoft. And then what we'll do is we will touch these puppies together. It is still going. It's pretty much working except for like a few keys. So I'm just trying to figure out why they're not working. And the jumper cables. Oh, you know what? I actually have to click NVIDIA to see if that works. I've I'm close. I know I'm close. Oh my goodness. Because it's upside down, I keep dropping stuff out of the way. Alright, so it's not the flash. Alright. Let's try this. It's not doing anything. Definitely not doing anything. Yeah, no, everything but these, like, few keys. The backspace doesn't work. This, whatever this is, isn't working. This isn't working. I don't even have that many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, actually, the right shift is working now. So it's whatever this is, which I don't even know what the default map is. I need to figure out what that is so I know what I'm looking at here. You would think that I would have done that, but I didn't. Didn't do it. Let's check one more time here. So the default... Oh, the default is that this is just enter. That's backspace. Okay, so this is actually a modifier, so I can find it if that works by, like... So the modifier doesn't actually work, which is probably not that big of a deal, honestly, but the enter key not working is a problem. And that, I believe, is 41. And I think we've already shown that putting 41 and 40 together doesn't actually make it do anything. I don't know. I don't know why it's doing this. Something going on with the diodes. I wish it were easy. But it's not. Nothing. Yeah, the enter is just dead. I'm gonna have to find out why it's doing this. Right shift works, so that's good. It's literally just these few on the side. The diodes are all the correct way. I don't know, I guess I can try and just mess with the solder on them. I mean, at this point, what's the big deal? Maybe there's too much solder, I don't know. That's weird. Why'd that flash on that real fast? It's fine. Yeah, I don't know. That's so close. It's actually working, but it's not. I feel like I'm never gonna finish this keyboard. Ever. It is super close. Like, 4 keys aren't working. And I know it has something to do with the diodes because I had the same issue whenever I whenever I built that Romeo. Really, it's just these well, it's probably the 4. I just need to figure out where they're supposed to go. But I just feel like there's a problem with from 12 to 13. Given my previous experience, this should flash it. This should show me a backspace where it's showing me I mean, that's not working. Doesn't make any sense why it's showing that. That, I guess, makes sense. Something's just not completing whatever the circuit is. That's not even what that is supposed to be. I just have to find whatever the right one is. But it's so off that I can't even figure it out. What? That's so off. I've already tried 27 to 26. And it shows up as that for some reason, because 26 is that. But then shouldn't it go to 27? You would think it would. 41. Already tried 40 to 41, and that doesn't work either. That shows up as right shift. It's like this whole right side of the board's jacked up. I feel like I'm right there. I just have to figure out why these 4 keys aren't working. I don't think it's the soldering connection on the ones after. But I don't actually know. So 14 is from 13, then 42. That says 420. I think it's usually the one before is the problem. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna have to check. I actually don't. It should be 12 to 13. It's just so close. But 12, but these aren't working. 27 doesn't work. 12 does. You know what I didn't think about? What happens if I try and hit this one when I'm touching these? Does it still do the same key? It does. Wait. So they both show the same one. So why does it do that? I think this is gonna have to be another test, like another question for somebody, because I am so unsure why this is not working. The diodes should be fine. They work whenever you complete the... I don't know. I don't know enough about any of this stuff to tell me why it's not working. Okay, where does this one go to? What's up, Keeb Noob? Yeah, seriously, this, I know that's not why they named it the Nightmare, but this has been literally the worst keyboard that I've built from the standpoint of how ridiculous it's been to try and get this stuff to work. It went from not working at all to then still not working at all after putting a new microcontroller onto it, to now where it works, but there's a few keys that are off, and there's something going on with either the diodes. I don't know, the traces don't have like gouges in them, so I don't think there's a damaged trace. But it's really, really hard to test. And I'm just not sure why I'm having that issue. I feel like I've tested everything that I can test from the diode perspective, so unless there's something going on with the microcontroller, which I don't think there is, I'm not really sure what next to do other than to ask somebody. Yeah, I don't know. I thought, but it's literally just like these 5 keys, or actually not even 5, it's just these 4 keys on the right side here that aren't working. I thought the same thing was happening to the right shift, and I redid the diode connections and it started working, but all these other 4 are not working. So, I don't know. I'm very confused on what exactly is going on. And I've already kind of remelted all that solder on everything just in case. Maybe it's worth doing it again. Just to make sure. Oh, that one's not working either. Thanks. Appreciate the noob energies. I feel like I need it. No, it's still those same ones that aren't working. I have no clue what it is. I don't know what it could be. I don't think they're bad diodes, because they do work. Well, maybe they are bad. I don't know. I'm really unsure. And I could always replace the diodes to see, but I don't want to have to do it because then I have to desolder all the switches off of this. And I probably, if I was smarter, I would have tested everything to make sure. Obviously, I'm not that smart, so I don't know. I don't know, let me look at this thing. This thing, I don't really like the way this looks, but it shouldn't matter. That was 12s. Yeah, it's still not working. Everything else works, but not these. I'm sure it's something that is very easy and I'm just missing it. But cold joint or maybe the pin hitters. So yeah, and so I thought about that too. So I actually socketed this. Yeah, I don't know how to test it either. The only one, so I socketed the Elite C on here so that I didn't have to desolder it. But I actually don't know. I actually removed the reset pin because there's a problem with this PCB right now where the reset pin is essentially making it to where it doesn't work. But yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's something as simple as... Like, I don't know how to test that either. I wouldn't even know what to look at. I do notice there's some really bad solder over here. Not that it'll make a difference, but... Yeah, I actually did. I just learned about sockets as well. I did not. I've desoldered from this PCB specifically. I've desoldered 3 times now, and I decided I did not want to deal with it anymore. And I will deal with the extra vertical space that's going to fit into the case. It's not going to fit flush, but I at this point I feel like it's worth it because I am so tired of desoldering those microcontrollers that I'll be fine putting a little bit of extra. I mean, it'll be sticking out a bit. I mean, you can kind of see there's going to be a gap, but I just did not want to have to desolder it again. But I might have to anyways, because it's not like this wants to work. And I actually have another Nightmare PCB that I believe works with this Pro Micro that's already on it. So I guess I could always use that one. Because I think that one works specifically well, but this one, I don't know. I feel like it should work, and I don't know what I'm actually running into here. So I'm thinking what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to see if the guys at Keyhive can enlighten me as to why the specific cluster of keys is not working, which is the right bracket, the backspace, the enter, and the modifier 1, and see if I'm missing something. I'm sure it's something easy. I'm sure it's something that they can tell me. The last time I had a problem with this is because I damaged a diode pin, or a pad on it, but it's not, when I connect the previous diode, it's not working. So I have a feeling I'll be working on this again at some point, but the good news is that it actually boots up this time, and that is the problem that I was having before, and that's because I had to remove the reset pin. So I'm curious. This one should work. This should just be space. Maybe. Yeah, that's just space. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna probably have to. Yeah, it's a win. It's a big win considering I've been sitting on this now for a while. So it could always be worse for sure. I'll take this win and I will figure out what I can do next to it. I do think it's probably something fairly simple. It's just figuring out what that is. So we'll see. But I'm gonna be done for tonight because it's already fairly late and I'm kind of tired of looking at this. So I think that's it. That's it for me. And I do appreciate everyone who sat around and hung out with me for however little time it is. Thank you for following. I appreciate that. I fully expect to be at this again at some point in the near future, or I might just try and finish it tomorrow during the day if I can get an answer from the Keyhive. But I am really ready to be done with this. It has been a nightmare. Yes, please. I can always use the moral support when I'm trying to figure this stuff out. So I appreciate it. Thank you for following. Thanks for hanging out. And I'll see you guys in the next one. See you guys.